So I slept pretty well on the Baja ferry, but in the morning I remembered that these guys at the Cactus Hotel had told me about a road, a toll road that went to Durango from Mazatlán. It was very out of the way because most people go south when they get off at Mazatlán, but this took me north and was going to add a lot to the trip. But they promised me that it would be the most amazing road ever. So when I got off the ferry, I noticed that they don't have a lot of direction down there. It's like things in Mexico that don't need to be regulated are regulated, and the things that should be regulated, like right here, how would you have any idea how you're leaving this port? It's just like, well, follow the guy ahead of you and hopefully he's going the right way, I guess. But in America, it's like this would be painted, there'd be signs, there'd be people everywhere, kind of directing you. But here, a passenger ferry, they treat it the same as you would treat, I don't know, a cargo ship. You're getting off at the same ports. I did fail to mention in the other one that they actually charge you a port fee that you don't know about either. So when you're at the dock, they charge you. So I pulled over for a photo here. The guy that took the photo afterwards asked me if he could take a photo there with my bike too. So I don't have it. I took it with his, but that was him there in front of me. So yeah, he took a photo with the bike, and then it was off, and I was running through Mazatlán. This is sped up to about 8 times speed, by the way. It had rained the night before. We saw the thunderstorms and everything from the boat, which was really neat. But the best part was that it wasn't raining when I was here. So I had decided to take the toll road from Mazatlán to Durango, and because of that, it added, I forget how many hours to my trip, but I want to say it was like a 3-hour ride difference. So my goal today was to get from Mazatlán to San Luis Potosi, and I think that total ride time was like 10 or 12 hours. But I had to do it to stay on target because when I went into Mexico, I didn't pay for an additional trip permit. I paid for 7 days. So I had 7 days to get through Mexico. And the only way for me to stay on track without having just another long day somewhere else was for me to go through, do this road, and go through San Luis Potosi. And so that's what I did. So this is me just making my way through Mazatlán, heading towards Durango. At this point, I didn't have GPS running or anything, so I just kind of went off directions that people were telling me. It was all right. It wasn't too bad doing it that way. They have plenty of signs. So I stopped for some gas and kept going. So you're going to see right here when I get on the freeway, it's going to slow down. You're going to see something kind of special. This girl right here on the right blowing me a kiss with her daughter next to her, I guess. But hey, don't judge. I'll take the free blown kiss and enjoy it. So I kept going and going. And this is just all on the way up to get to the first toll gate for the toll road here. I can't even believe it, but I just got the best road, and I don't even know how much of it I recorded. This road is amazing. So here we go. I'm gonna try and get some more, but what I didn't realize is I had not recorded any of the road to this point, but that's okay because the best is still to come. The road is awesome, but what you're gonna see here, this is at standard normal speed. And I wanted to do that just so that you could kind of get an idea of what the commute's like, how people are really driving, but what you get to see, it's just majestic going through the mountaintops here, going to Durango. I don't know how many bridges and tunnels there are on this road. I would guess 40 or 50 of each, and it's just such a nice road. There are spots that have some holes in them, and there is some erosion, some landslides and stuff from time to time, but overall it's such a nice road. The the tunnels are super cool, and I don't know if somebody from Microsoft, Forza team, or the guys at PlayStation will ever see this video, but if you do, this road should be a racetrack in the video games. I don't know if they would ever do like a rally circuit here or anything in real life. This road should be in a video game. It's that good, I promise. When I saw the lights on this one going into these tunnels, I thought, wow, I've never seen a tunnel even in America, and I know that there are, just not around where I live. They have like speed limit lights and guide lights and stuff inside, like right here above. But it's crazy how long this tunnel is. This one right here has got to be, I don't know, like at least 2 miles long. It's at least a 2, maybe 3 mile long tunnel. It's huge. It's the longest tunnel I've ever been in, and you're just going through the top of a mountain. It's really, really cool to think about that right now you're just cutting through a mountain. I guess it would be more cool if you're underwater, but cutting through a mountain is pretty awesome too. So you're just cutting through the top of this mountain, and you're just going to get onto more bridges and tunnels after this. This is just one of many, but if I remember right, this is the longest tunnel that's on that road. And it is, I'll look it up after, but I think it's got to be probably 2 miles, maybe 3 miles long. You'll notice that I swerve and move around in the lane. I mean, like right there, that was because the truck was in my lane and there was a pothole. So, you know, the guys down there, when they see a motorcycle, they just kind of go, well, the motorcycle will move if I get in his lane. So you do have to be wary of that because I get it too. I mean, I don't need a whole lane. It's just a motorcycle, but it's something we are not used to, at least as Americans, that somebody would pass, oncoming traffic would pass in your lane and just assume you're going to move for them. So you do have to be pretty wary. Wary. I don't know why I always say wary. You have to stay wary of your surroundings there. Be alert. So something that I should mention about this road, and it's kind of the pinnacle moment on this road that everybody takes it for, is there's a bridge, and it's not the next bridge you're gonna see. It's not this one. It's the one after this one, and it's called Baluarte Bridge. Um, and so, kind of the story behind this uh, is that it is the tallest cable-stayed bridge in the world, the highest above the ground. I don't know lengthwise. It's 1,124 meters, so it's like almost 4,000 feet across in length. Um, but it's 1,700 feet above the ground, or I believe in the middle. So the road deck is about 1,300 feet above the valley below, and so it's the second or third highest cable-stayed bridge on the planet. I think that the number one cable-stayed bridge is in like China, maybe. So this one runs across the valley. Below it, there's a bridge, or not a bridge. No, there's not a bridge. There's a river, and this is all through Sinaloa as you're driving towards Durango. So it's pretty hard to miss if you are in Mexico and you're interested in going here. Then what you want to do is just ask around. But if you get to Mazatlán, it's really easy to follow signs for Durango, and then just look for the signs that say toll road, which it's ruta con quota. It's been a couple of weeks, but just watch for the toll roads. They'll guide you to this amazing road, amazing tunnels, amazing bridges, and you get to see, it's not one of the wonders of the world, but it is pretty wonderful, this bridge. So I think it's coming up after this couple of sets of tunnels. The one complaint that I have about the Baluarte Bridge is that there's nowhere to pull off and take pictures. It's weird that you would build this amazing bridge and not have anywhere to take a picture. I mean, it's like nowhere to pull over, no turnaround, no nothing. And you guys just built one of the tallest bridges and most amazing engineering feats on the planet. You don't put a spot to take a picture. So I don't understand that. But this is us coming up to it. So you can see the top of it there, and here we go. Another kind of bummer on here is I had the GoPro on the bike and not on my helmet, so I can't look over the side. Yeah, unfortunately, once again, I thought there'd be a spot I could pull over, so tried to slow down a little bit so you can just enjoy the bridge. But it's a really cool bridge. Once again, they started building it in 2008. It was inaugurated in 2012 and opened to traffic in 2013. So the highway links the Atlantic and Pacific coast. This is a portion of that, and it's a really nice road. And I will say that if you go to Durango this way from Mazatlán, it's about, I don't know, 2.5 hours north of Mazatlán to get to here. I had planned on letting you just watch through the entire road on here, but I do know that it gets a little repetitive, and I do get into some traffic coming up. So I'm going to go ahead and just speed up the pace on here a little bit. So I apologize if you're enjoying the full ride. I guess I could do just a true to time, actual time video of this, but I am going to speed up the video from here, just so that you guys can see more in less time. This video is already a little bit longer than the other one, so I thought that you may benefit from saving that. You can also just scan forward, but let's just go ahead and speed it up. You can see There is quite a bit of maintenance on this road, um, which is a great thing. I mean, they want to keep this road nice. It's a toll road. I think I had to pay like $17 maybe to, U.S. dollars, not pesos. It's about $17 worth of pesos to take this road. And there were some major uh, landslides and stuff along the way. And I think that I did get that on video. So as we come up and follow this traffic through, I think you're going to see a pretty cool landslide too. Now, the one thing is, I hadn't gotten any photos along the way here, and I got to a point where I said, you know what, I need to take a photo before I get off the road. So I turned around, pulled over, there's the money shot. Imagine just you're on bridges and tunnels going through that all day. Once again, they encourage passing semis and tunnels in Mexico. It's a thing, I promise. And I'm just thinking about this too. Like, I guess not everybody's super into tunnels like me, but I love tunnels. Oh, and here's that rock slide. So when you see the signs that say falling rocks, like, that's a real thing. Because that would hurt if you got hit by those. But yeah, I love, like, going through tunnels, going over bridges. Like, I geek out on that. I love tunnels, and bridges are probably some of the coolest things that you're going to go through or across or over or under uh, on the road. So very cool stuff. Very cool road. We're just coming off of it here. Uh, I kind of am gonna splice and cut through some of this stuff because you come off of it and it's crazy. Like, this is what it looks like, you know, riding up to Mount Hood. The vegetation, the landscape, everything looks a lot like it does at home. Maybe even, like, I don't know, riding around up to Yellowstone or something. Like, you're not thinking Mexico when you're going through here. And, you know, maybe that's just because I've been cultured that Mexico's so different, but we're talking pine trees and uh, just awesome green and mountains, and it just looks really different. The roads are, like, perfect too. So after that, this is a ways later, uh, going into Durango. Um, big, actually pretty big city. I wouldn't say they had, like, really tall buildings or anything, but you can tell there are plenty of people, plenty of traffic, a lot of houses. Everybody's busy, everybody's doing something, everybody's driving in some direction. And so I'm still going without navigation actually right here. I'm just riding through, uh, going as I go, trying to find a way. And I'm trying, actually, I'm looking for signs to San Luis Potosi, but also I'm looking for Ciudad de Mexico. I'm looking for Mexico City, DF, Federal District, because I know that it's kind of along the lines of where I'm going from here. I know it's the same highway that kind of takes you out towards it, but San Luis Potosi isn't direct. It's a little bit on the edge of it, but it was supposed to be a nice town. I wanted to go to San Luis Potosi. So as you're riding through Durango, something that's really cool over the freeway, and you see it kind of there in the horizon, is a film strip. So I haven't looked into it. I'm guessing they've had a lot of movies, films, filmed there. But it's a film strip above the freeway, and it's really cool because it's like low opacity, and it actually shines through, and it looks like a real piece of film, but it's made out of, I think, metal and maybe acrylic. I'm not sure what they made it out of. So I wanted to pull over and get a photo there with that film strip, which you see there above the bike. And for me, it was super cool. I don't know. I thought that was really cool. I like that they have kind of that attention to detail and landmarks and things there in Mexico. So leaving Durango, traffic was less than the best. It was okay. I actually took a wrong turn here, so that's why you see there's not a lot of cars on this road, because I'm on the wrong road and I need to cut back over to the left. Um, but I wanted to give you just an idea of what the traffic's like. Completely different from being in Baja. It's more of a city feel now. You know, you don't have one road going north and south. You've got people living in all sorts of directions. A lot more people live here. There are way more people living in mainland Mexico than in Baja. Um, you know, La Paz is big, but, uh, you know, there's not that much going on. I did catch some rain. This is actually the only rain that I had caught the whole trip so far, and it was weird because it's like you flew under the cloud, got rained on, and then as soon as you were done with this little section, there was no more rain. So I got rained on, but, like, not even enough to get my gloves wet, and it was a good amount of rain, I thought. So I kind of got poured on, but only for a second. So, and my gear is all waterproof Gore-Tex and stuff, so I did fine, but it was wet. Met these guys on the road to San Luis Potosi. Awesome guys. They took some shots, sent me some info on Instagram, but that's like a local biker club out for a Sunday ride. I noticed also on these roads there are tons of bikes out on a Sunday. Later to find out that's just kind of everybody's play day. So that everybody said, yeah, not Saturday, not Friday, but Sunday is the day that you're going to run into everybody. I also failed to mention how many tolls I had to pay while crossing to get to San Luis Potosi. It was insane, to be honest. how many tolls you have to pay. I probably paid like $50 that day just in tolls from one end to the other. This is outside of, I think it was called like the Green Chili Heart something. It's on that sign, hostel. It was okay hostel. The guy was like watching movies all night, full volume. Just on the block behind it, you have this courtyard with street food and then the church. But facing that is a little restaurant I went into, and these are their típico enchiladas there. They're amazing. I highly recommend them. Message me if you're going to San Luis Potosi, you want the name of this restaurant. But it faces the church right there behind the hostel. This building is covered in CDs. Very cool. Also a landmark by the hostel and on the same street as the church and restaurant. Thanks, guys.